Good morning. And as we start with a new week, we find that there are diverse issues facing us. And I was planning to address the issue of foreign policy. However, something new cropped up, and that made me ruminate, made me think that foreign policy can wait for a day. But the new cloud on the horizon needs certain attention, needs to be attended to because that affects the very entity, the very identity, and the freedom of the people of Canada. You remember in 2006 there was a very infamous plot to destroy the Canadian society. A few young men below the age of 18 assembled together, conspired to destroy the engine of economics and the engine of economy of Canada, that's Toronto. They had planned to bomb the stock exchange and the CN Tower, the iconic tower of Canada. They had plans to behead the Prime Minister Harper. They had plans to create mayhem and a murder. They had planned to disrupt the civil life and to make the citizens cringe with fear. Luckily, they were arrested with clear evidence, and the judge who tried them, Duncan Marcos, he said that the evidence is bone-chilling. It had sent the shivers down his spine, and these people were prosecuted and punished. In 2013, Harper government passed a new law saying that the people who have been convicted, not charged, but convicted by a court of law, and provided they are double citizens, they have a dual nationality, then they would be stripped of their Canadian citizenship and sent back to their countries. And the law was upheld by the Supreme Court of Canada. That's a legal law. Similar laws exist in Australia, in England, in France, in Germany, in fact, all over the world. Every government is duty bound to protect its citizens. And under that law, the leaders of this infamous gang of murderers and hooligans were stripped of their citizenship, and they were ordered to be deported back to Jordan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan after they had completed their sentences. And then in this February, one of the convicted persons was eligible for parole, but the parole board said no, he is still not sufficiently fit enough to come out of the jail. He is sufficiently not reformed. And there is still a danger that he might indulge in the same activities again. And then the new government came, a popular government according to them. And this government said, now a Canadian is a Canadian, whether he's having dual citizenship or not. So nobody's citizenship can be taken away. And under the new law, C5, which is yet to be approved by the Governor General and has not received the royal assent, the government a couple of days back decided to restore the citizenship of the convicted terrorists whose conspiracy and plot, according to the judge was spine-chilling. Imagine, does it happen anywhere in the world that you wage war against the people of the country and then you are rewarded with the citizenship? No, it's just like saying when the immigration minister or the prime minister say that Canadian is a Canadian, so whether it's a dual nationality or a single nationality, the citizenship cannot be revoked. I'm amazed. Are we not hunting with the hounds and running with the hare? Now come to a very prosaic situation that you are a person who is accused of bigamy. Would you have the same rights as a person who is married only once? No. Bigamy is a crime, so is terrorism. And terrorism is a much bigger crime because it's a crime not against the people, it's a crime against the country, it's a crime against the humanity itself. It's a crime where the innocent people are butchered in cold blood, where the innocent children are just annihilated. It's a crime where the victims are unsuspected citizens supposed to be protected by the nation and the country. And those criminals who under an internationally accepted law were supposed to be stripped of their citizenship are likely to get their citizenship back the day royal assent is given to this new law. And I'm amazed that all the right-thinking people say it's wrong. For the first time, the media has said, and National Post was very equivocal about it, that what Justin Trudeau government is thinking is not in the interest of the nation. And yet, neither any MP nor any political leader has come forward to say this should not happen. I find hundreds of the people saying and starting petitions. Is this not the proper occasion for you to start a petition? Requesting Her Majesty not to give assent to this insidious bill which will permit our murderers to roam among us free. And mind you, most of these terrorists will go on welfare. So you will be subsidizing your own murderers. What a contradiction. This ambivalent attitude towards safety, these ambivalent attitudes are going to cost the nation heavily. There's another issue which comes up. Is politically correctness acceptable to the limit that it harms the national interest and the human interest? Or is kowtowing to the minorities and such stupid principles that hurt the national prestige and the national safety, such principles, do they have to be venerated and accepted and implemented? This law, the day it receives assent, shall be a death knell for the peace of the country. We have seen recently that it was thanks to an FBI tip that Toronto was saved from bloodshed, from mass murder, from mayhem. And when these convicted terrorists come back, they'll come back with a vengeance. They'll come back with their faith in inhumanity fortified. They'll come back with their convictions that they are justified in killing innocent people, that they are fully justified in ensuring that anybody who doesn't adhere to their concepts of medieval age era is not fit to live. they'll be fully justified in thinking that their means are acceptable. Do we subscribe to that situation? Do we agree with that concept? No. I'm not talking about the religion. I'm talking about the political philosophy and the philosophy of killing. The day you restore the citizenship to the murderers, to the mass murderers, you are eroding the faith in the institutions that protect humanity. This process of erosion has started long back. And the culmination would be the day royal assent is given to this law. And sometimes I do wonder, what are we? Are we the dumb driven cattle that, having elected the government once, accept everything which comes down from them as the gospel truth? Have we bidden goodbye to a sense of discrimination, sense of judgment, and sense of protest? We accept everything meekly, unmindful of the fact that such actions of the government can be dangerous. I'm not charging the government with being willfully anti-people. No. They are deluded by their politically correctness. They are thinking that they are acting in the best interest of the country and the world, but it's not so. You are aware that the way to the hell is paved with good intentions. Their intentions are good. I am sure of the patriotism of Justin Trudeau and his party. I am sure that they are good human beings, excellent human beings. But are they the good rulers? That's the crux of the question. The crux of the question is their sense of humanity so strong that it can eclipse their sense of judgment? That their sense of appearing to be good clouds their sense of commitment to protect the people? That the hollow principles, I again repeat, hollow principles that seem to sway their judgments, these principles are going to be the death knell of the people's aspirations, because indirectly you are encouraging terrorists to be more strong. You know, again, there is a cultural parameter. People here assume that everybody who has repented has reformed. It's not so. In many cultures, especially in the cultures of South Asia and Middle East, I belong to South Asia, I know it, that if you feel merciful, the people on whom you are being merciful assume that to be a sign of weakness. And they try to exploit that sign of weakness. This cultural nuance has to be understood by the people, has to be understood by the mentors in Ottawa, has to be understood by the political leaders. I'm not saying don't be merciful, but be merciful, be compassionate when it deserves. And we always say, a burnt child dreads the fire. But here we have been burned and we are still not dreading the fire. What harm would it be there if these people who have got the divided loyalty, they have dual citizenship, so they are not absolutely loyal to this country. So if the people of divided loyalty are sent back to the original country, to their native country, what's wrong with that? That is a perfectly justified solution. You are not killing them. You are not incinerating them for the life. You are just putting them away back to their countries where they'll be happy. Why do you want to make them live here and be unhappy and make others unhappy? Is it too late? No, it's not. There's still time for Justin Trudeau and his government to withdraw the bill from the Royal Assembly and say, no, we don't want it. There's still time for the Governor General to send the bill back for reconsideration. There's still time for him to refuse the assent. There is still time for you to wake up and tell the government, no, we will not accept it. We don't want this bill, and we don't want these terrorists to be called Canadians. To be a Canadian should be a privilege, not to be exploited by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Privileges are given to the deserving. Privileges are given to those people who really deserve to be so. Not to the people who come and stab you in the back. Not the people who don't believe in your values and try to undermine them and do exactly the opposite what you plan to do. Think about it, but don't think too much. Act. Ask the government to ensure that the bill is not passed. Ask the government that the old bill stands. Ask the government that the murderers must be sent back to their countries. That's the way the salvation of the country is, not the way the government is thinking. And with the premonition and premonition that you will not act, and hope that you will act, I leave you for the day. Have a nice day.